I'm actually gonna start this tier list right away. I'm just gonna rate Call of Duties honestly how I find them to be more fun or enjoyable over one or the other. Uh, I was trying to go with a biased look at this, but I found myself kept coming back to just putting one above the other that I really enjoyed, and I could I found myself just kept on not being very biased at all, or unbiased. I was being very biased, so I'm just said screw it. It's all going on one list. Very easy. I'm gonna start off with the ones that I've never played before, just because I want to get them out of the way. And some of these I've obviously played, um, but I never really got around to it in terms of other areas. So like World at War Zombies. I think that's Zombies. No, that's Final Fronts. No, here Black Ops Zombies, World at War Zombies. Obviously, I played those, but I'm gonna try to include those into the actual games themselves, so I don't get confused on what I did and did not do. Obviously, I played Blackout. It's not Blackout, but I didn't play that. I have played Blackout once again, sticking with that. Warzone, I consider that a same entity as Modern Warfare 2019. That's actually when I had played it when it first came out. So I'm keeping those never played, even though I have. Warzone Mobile, Call of Duty Mobile, once again, all going down there. That's going down there as well. And now we get to the bread and butter of the video, the main Call of Duties. Obviously, when you think of Call of Duty, most people don't think of these first three. I have actually had the lucky privilege of playing them, and I actually own them still. So if I need to go back to play them, I can. But for the most part, I haven't touched these games in years. I remember getting them when I was a little kid, and I really enjoyed Call of Duty 3. That was a lot of fun to me. Call of Duty 2, 1 and 2, I've only played maybe a handful of times, honestly. So even though I've played them, I'm still gonna put never played because I can't give a full recall of my memories playing with them. Yeah, if that makes any sense. Um, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Where do I even start, man? This game was so much fun when I played it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't actually play a lot of the original version that came out in 2007. My family had it while I was growing up, but I've only ever touched on it a couple times because, well, we'd usually stick to the yearly release. You buy Call of Duty 4 or Modern Warfare. Actually, I've got a funny story about that. I'm gonna get to in a second. But you buy that, and then you buy World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops. Banger, banger, banger. You're having fun. You're gonna buy the next one. But anyways, the funny story about Call of Duty Modern Warfare is I'd always say, let's go play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 instead of saying Call of Duty 4 or just Modern Warfare. I'd always say, let's go play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. And all my siblings and friends were always like, what are you talking about? That game does not exist yet. It won't exist for a long time, if ever. Surprise, surprise. I actually think it's coming out next year. So, jokes on them. I was thinking 20, 10 years, 18 years ahead. Ah, jeez. That was a long time ago. Anyways, so even though I've never played a lot of the original, um, I've actually played the remastered quite a bit. And I know some people may consider that a bit unfair, but screw you, it's my list. But no, I'm just kidding. But I think it's close enough to the original game. I for it being a remastered and not a remake, I think they did a really good job. Obviously, they added the DLC guns, the weapons, or I mean the pistols, the ARs, the LMGs, snipers, melees, all of that. They added some newer ones, but in my opinion, I think you know, they fit in very well with the game. I'd actually seen a comment about this on Facebook on one of the posts I'm in, or groups, I should say. They were talking about how the Modern Warfare 4 remastered was a terrible, terrible idea, and they did a very poor execution of it. Honestly, I think otherwise. It sucks having a depot and that whole gambling system going on, but in reality, those guns never gave you too much more of an edge over other players. Obviously, like the XM-LAR, I think, one of the sniper rifles, and maybe the double shotguns. Those were pretty crazy from what I remember. And going back, playing with them are pretty solid, a lot of fun. But I would never really consider them OP, not by today's standards, anyways. maybe back then, but I've gotta go with I've gotta go with either I'm gonna stick with Fantastic. Well, I'm gonna lowball these for now and see where I feel after that. But the point is, I love this game. And something that you're gonna find out about me is I don't play a lot of single player campaigns, and that's not because I don't enjoy them. I just have trouble sitting down and fully giving them time they need to deserve them, or giving them the time that they deserve to fully, respect them as the way they were intended to be played. Um, but I'm gonna stick with Fantastic for that. Point is, it's a great game. Even now, I go back to play the original, have a lot of fun. Um, Very rarely do I do that, but sometimes. Anyways, Call of Duty. Where'd it go? Oh, there it goes. Call of Duty World at War. This is my first game that I've ever played. Call of Duty wise. So I know Modern Warfare came out before in 2007, but World at War. Um, my first introduction was actually my older brother. He had a friend come over one night as like a sleepover thing, and he had brought his Xbox. And with that came World at War. I had begged them to let me watch them. Me being a little, gosh, I had to have been 7 at the time, 7 or 8. I kept annoying him, annoying him. I want to watch, I want to watch, I want to watch. And eventually they let me to see the ending of the game. And as you all know, at the ending, or as you may not know, I'm not sure, but at the end of the World at War campaign, spoiler alert, it leads you into the zombies, or it used to, anyways. I'm not sure if it still does. Um, but it had led over to zombies, and I was so scared as a kid seeing those zombies at Doctor Untone for the first time. I can't even re-describe those feelings. Fantastic ending to a campaign, by the way. I hate the fact that we're probably never gonna see anything like that again. Um, but from my memories, this has got to be the greatest of all times. I mean, seriously, I don't even know where to begin with this game. I loved all the machine guns. The dogs were a lot of fun in the campaign. That was my favorite streak, obviously. It being 11 kill streaks, it gotta be worth a lot. And I just love seeing them go around and maul all my enemies. And sometimes people just quit, and for some reason, I love seeing that. Once again, as a kid, even though it ends the game. And then zombies, man, that's I absolutely adore zombies. I remember playing it up until 7 in the morning. I'd be up for I felt like 20 hours straight, 24 hours playing, trying to get as high as around as I can, and exploring all the new upgrades whenever um not Verrückt, Shinuma Deriz came out. Um yeah, I don't even know what to say except it's got to be the goats for me. Going on to Modern Warfare 2. I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not play a lot of this because at that time we had gotten World at War, and well, I just prefer World at War. I was always stuck on the older Call of Duty. I played a lot of it Modern Warfare 2 whenever family would come over for like New Year's Eve. I would play quite a bit with them then, but whenever they'd go and I'd play it by myself, I'd always go back to World at War. You can see why being unbiased was not an option for me because I was just so stuck on older games. But I have went back recently and played Modern Warfare 2 because of the sheer amount of positivity that it got online. I'm actually in some groups for Discord that arrange for meetups, and you play games whatever you want. It's a PS3 group, so if you got PS3s, let me know, and maybe I'll post a. I should probably plug it actually. Anyways, a lot of them want to play Modern Warfare 2, and I play with them because well, I want to play the older Call of Duties, experience them, and my gosh, dude, so much fun! I can't believe how fast 2 3 hours can go by while playing this game. I don't even go out grocery shopping like I should because sometimes I just get stuck playing it and a bunch of these older titles. And that's the thing. These older titles I can go back to and play them repeatedly, no matter what, and not really get tired of them. They're a lot of fun to play, and the realism kind of grounds me to be sucked into it. Makes me feel like I'm in it because it's kind of modern, in a real sort of way. Multiplayer speaking. But yeah, no, it's got to be up there, and the special op missions too, wonderfully executed. The Black Ops series, World at War, had zombies. Modern Warfare has special missions. I'm not gonna lie to you, I prefer the MW3 special missions a lot more than Modern Warfare 2, but I did really enjoy um, all that this game had to offer. It's gonna go to the top of the fantastic tier above Modern Warfare. Uh, Simply because I feel like, well, okay, they're gonna be tied for now. If I could find a way to tie them, I'm gonna tie those two. Maybe this giving a slight edge. Now I think about it. I remember playing this a lot more, having a lot more fun with it. But at the same time, I also really enjoyed the kill streaks in Modern Warfare 2. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Modern Warfare 2, staying in front of Fantastic, top of Fantastic, not by much. Next game, Black Ops, immediately greatest of all time, best Call of Duty in my opinion. Once again, very biased, but in my opinion, this game had it all. Man, it had the greatest multiplayer, had the great campaign, it had the great zombies mode. There's not a single zombies map in Call of Duty Black Ops that I do not like right now. When it first came out, I never was a big fan of Shinonuma, or not Shinonuma, the Temple of the Dead. Man, why am I'm blanking on the name. I'll think of it eventually. Shinonuma. No, I already said that. Shangri-La. There we go. I'm leaving that in. But Shangri-La. Dude, I'm everything about that game right now thinking back on it was so much fun. Now, back to what I was saying about the zombies. When I was little, back in 2011 or 2010 when it came out, I played it in 2011. I sucked. I kind of sucked at some of the games. I mean maps, anyways. Like whenever Shangri-La came out and Moon, I felt like I could never get past 12 or 13. Whereas Kino, I was making 105, 110. I'm not. I wasn't kidding when I'd spend like a good 24 hours leaving my PS3 on to go to bed. I was addicted, and Black Ops is what really hooked me. Because I went from playing World at War to Black Ops. I skipped Modern Warfare 2. That's why it's kind of ranking lower, probably, is because I'm a bit biased. But the only complaint I have now about Black Ops is the sound design. I never really understood it until I watched a big YouTuber talk about it. But the sound design is like, wow, they use the same audio for the same guns over and over again. Like the Stakeout and the Olympia, and all the shotguns. HS10, they all have the same sound. Nothing much difference there. But that's my really only complaint. In my opinion, the gameplay, the zombies, all fantastic. It's going greatest of all time. Modern Warfare 3. This has got to be above these two by far because I actually played this a lot when it first came out, and I'm guilty, but I primarily played Infected. It's by far my favorite game mode. I actually made up. I'm putting heavy quotations around that in real life because, man, like I would go out with my friends and say, "Let's play Infected." They'll be like, "What is that? That sounds like a terrible idea." Well, I explain it. It's just like in the game where, if I'm it, I tag you. We're both it. You tag him. We're all three it, and we go until everyone's dead or tagged. And once I fully explained it and we played one round, they were hooked, and I was hooked. And we played it so freaking much during the summers. I still play it occasionally, whenever I get a chance. In terms of in real life, going to the park and playing with my friends at like, night, whatever. It's super fun. If you guys ever never tried that, get some of your friends. You should do that. It's a lot of fun. Um, but anyways, top of fantastic. A lot of memories with the special ops. Like I was saying, I preferred them over the Modern Warfare 2, mainly because the money system and buying the guns, the perks, and everything. I found it to be a lot more enjoyable. Maybe it's a little more fast paced. Maybe that's why I liked it. But maybe it actually might go up here. I might move World at War down. I'm not gonna lie. Now I'm thinking about it. Let's keep it right there. Black Ops, World at War, Modern Warfare 3. Let's go with Black Ops 2. This is gonna be a very controversial take, Black Ops 2 wasn't that great. It wasn't that great. I feel like I might get some death threats over this. I have in the past. Some people are like, "Are you crazy? Give me a reason, this and that." And I just never played it. Back in 2012, whenever it released, we had gotten it, but I always preferred to play Black Ops 1 or World at War, Modern Warfare 3. Um, I didn't like the zombies all that much. The transit was alright. From what I remember, my actually that's all I had access to. I never bought the uh DLC. Um, but I actually went over to a friend's house and played Mob of the not Mob yeah Mob of the Dead and the one that introduced the Primus crew. Um, I I'm blank the Giants, not the Giants. That's a Black Ops 3 map. Anyways, point is, I never really liked the zombies mode. Farm was that's the only map I ever played and I really enjoyed. And even now, I don't really. I'm not a big fan of those big quests maps. I like to shoot zombies, just kill to survive and have fun. Multiplayer, I once again I never played it a whole lot, but going back now and playing it, I could see how it was pretty fun to play. Just not my cup of tea, I guess. Um, if I go back and play it more, maybe it'll catch on. But as of right now, it's got to be great. It wasn't that good. Ghosts. I remember when this game first came out, my older brother was freaking out, saying how broken having the on the snipers and the scopes, the black instead of the corners being pure black, he was like kind of blurry, so you could still see stuff. I remember him going on and on about how broken that was. And when the game came out, the biggest thing I kept going to was breaking that freaking wall. And I can't even think of the map. Wow, I cannot think of the map. But constantly breaking the wall, and it's one of the maps because Ghost had that interactable environment, and that I just whenever I could find a wall, I'd break it. It's a lot of fun. Or breaking glass, even though these all have that too. I cannot put it with Black Ops 2 because I can go back to Black Ops 2 and I still have a good time, but Ghosts I really I can have a good time, but it really depends on what I'm doing, I guess. So maybe it goes in the middle because it's nowhere near Black Ops 2. I have a lot more fun playing that game. The kill streaks are fantastic, and Ghosts I feel like it's kind of forgettable. I wouldn't call it bad. It's just no, I don't. I'm not sure. It's just I feel like it's got to be right there. Advanced Warfare. Once again, this came out in 2014. It's bad. And I never. Maybe I. You know what? I'm gonna stick with never played because I never played it that much. It's kind of with these Call of Duties. Maybe I've got less than 10 hours on it. I didn't really like the advanced move it that much. It felt clunky to me. Um, I never really got attached to the campaign. I've heard. Maybe I'm thinking of Infinite Warfare, but I think I heard decent things with the campaign, but once again, I haven't played it enough to give my full opinion. Call of Duty Black Ops 3. This is going to be a tough one. It's definitely above Black Ops 2 and maybe above that. I've actually really enjoyed my time playing this game a lot more so than other people. I remember this was back in 2015, so I would have been just going into my eighth grade year, I believe. Um, but this, man, this is gonna be tough. I was going to my freshman year in 2016, 2017, 2017, 2016 was that other game. Anyways, Infinite Warfare and remastered. But anyways, man, I love the zombies in this game. It's fantastic. In my opinion, it's the greatest zombie experience you can have if you can afford the freaking DLC, how much money that costs to buy all the maps. But if you can afford that, or if you can get it for free on computer or whatever, I do not condone that by the way. Just saying. Um, it's maybe it's got to be up here because I remember having so much more fun playing this. Wow, wow, I'm just gonna keep on moving it up, huh? um, see now this greatest of all time, having all four games there, it seems a bit crowded, so I'm actually might move everything down a bit. Um, Black Ops definitely has got to be the greatest of all time. Call of Duty Black Ops 3. There's things I can gripe about this game, like some of the overpowered specialists. They felt overpowered to me at the time. Going back to find multiplayer, I still find myself enjoying the Purifier, and the mechanics felt pretty smooth. But can I say I enjoyed it more than these two? But if we're going purely based off the amount of hours, I would say this would probably be up here, just because how much I played it. Um, but in terms of the actual gameplay, I wasn't a big fan of Shadows of Evil. Like in zombies, I'm gonna move to zombies real quick because that's a lot what I played. But I didn't like the Shadows of Evil when that came out, and as soon as the giant DLC dropped, or would that drop at the game, I played that a lot. Like I played the giant over every other map for a long, long time. When the Horizon Jack came out, that was one of the first complicated, I'm putting quotations around it, maps that I played that I really enjoyed. But as soon as the other DLC came out, I didn't play Garage Grovey. Or I did, but I didn't like it. I'm talking about when the all the original maps came back. That's all I ever played was the original. I never played, or I guess I played the Giant, but that's technically Der Riese, so it doesn't count as the originals. That's gonna stay. That's gotta stay top of Fantastic. I'm gonna be willing to say. Man, I so dearly want to put the Modern Warfare 3 up there, but I'm not. I don't know if I can do it. If I don't know if I can put it above Black Ops 3. I just feel like that's got to be above, like in the top of the tier, if I'm gonna keep it there. Um, we're gonna keep this for now. See how this feels. It's kind of hit or miss right now, but I cannot put Ghost in bad because I really did have fun time playing it. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Once again, never really played all that much. I was too busy playing. Do they have it remastered on here? They do. Should I keep that separate from the original? See, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. I feel like they did a really good job of keeping this faithful to the original. Besides the extra guns and melees, everything else was mainly cosmetics, and not like the stupid cosmetics they brought in Black Ops 4, I believe, or Modern Warfare 2, or Cold War. Whenever they brought like a bunch of the freaking other crappy cosmetic skins, that's when Call of Duty, in my opinion, took a big drop. But remastered, man, I've gotta probably stick that. Once again, I well, if it, hmm. I was telling myself I was gonna keep these separate, but now I think about it, maybe it wouldn't be fair. Because I did play a lot of this. Like that was the majority of my 2016 when it came out, and I still remember that Crash update where they made that Christmas map. I still remember playing that so much. And Infected in this mode, I played Infected a lot with or Slasher, I guess it was called Slasher. I remember all those glitch spots. I had so much fun playing that game. I loved it. But I've gotta talk. I've gotta stick with Modern Warfare. Maybe I know I said I wasn't gonna do this, but I feel like it's only fair. That's got to be right there. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. I feel like I have to rate that. Call of Duty World War II. Now this is where it takes a dip for me. But me personally, it's a mid game. It wasn't bad. Uh, I only remember two maps from the game, and one of that is because I have a very specific memory of some bullshit thing happening. In the one map, like a guy shot me through a rock because of ping or something like that. I was super upset. For some reason, I just vividly remember that because I threw my controller. I almost broke it, or I felt like I broke it. Um, but yeah, like World War II, kind of forget it was zombies. That game had zombies, I think, and it was crap. I hated it. I did not enjoy that whatsoever. I'm gonna leave it as mid. I'm not gonna go too much depth about it. Black Ops 4, it's gotta be good. Feels like a crime having it next to Black Ops 2, but I just remember the biggest controversy being it not having a campaign. Now, for me, who's someone who doesn't have or didn't play campaigns at that time, it wasn't a big deal. I was gonna play multiplayer anyways. But for Blackout, that was I remember playing some with my friends, but not a whole lot. Um, I remember playing it maybe like once a week, if that. The multiplayer, I did have a lot of fun with the mechanics they brought. Even though it was kind of annoying having to stem quite a bit, I did enjoy that kind of, I still found fun playing it. Um, dare I say even more than Black Ops 2. I'm gonna get flamed for this in the comments. I know this is gonna garner a lot of hate, but um, that I firmly believe I had more fun playing Black Ops 4 than Black Ops 2. Um, Last time I played Black Ops 2 was in 2023, maybe 2, 3 years ago. Maybe I'll have to go back and revisit that and do a full breakdown. Once again, like an updated part of this list. Modern Warfare. It's gotta be top of great. Top of great. Um, this is my last year fully playing a lot of Call of Duty. At the time, I was a freshman in college. No, no, no. That was my junior year in high school. I had a lot of fun playing this game. I actually played through the campaign. Surprisingly, after not playing the campaign, that didn't have a campaign. I didn't play the campaign on that. Didn't play the campaign on that. I did end up playing that before this. Did not play that. Played that and played that. Partially that. But anyways, um, I don't know what else to say. I loved the mechanics they added to the game with the peeking, the posting up against the walls. I've always wanted that in Call of Duty, and I feel like they did a really good job. Uh, it felt like the everything belonged in it. I had a fantastic time playing Modern Warfare. Definitely more than these two older ones. And that's probably the last really good game. Because now we're gonna start going downhill a little bit. Remastered, never played that. I've never played that. Didn't buy it because it didn't have the multiplayer. It had the multiplayer, just like the up here. I would have bought it, but then I feel like they would have had another situation with releasing it with paired with another game because no one else would buy that game, like what they did with Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered. I feel like they definitely paired those with it because they knew Infinite Warfare was not going to sell. Um, but yeah, so never played that. Cold War zombies, a lot of fun. More than Black Ops 4. The multiplayer I did not like too much. This might actually go down a mid. Multiplayer, I did not enjoy a lot of that. Cold War, I actually only ever played the first zombie map. The Duries remastered or remake, whatever. I never liked the multiplayer that much. It felt like the skill based matchmaking was abysmal. I played on PS4 or I would have been playing on PS5 at the time, I think. But matchmaking abysmal. So many issues, like so much stuttering, so much lagging. I really did not enjoy my time with Cold War. I know it's got to be bad. Even though I like the zombies, the campaign, I tried dipping my toes in it because I did play the Modern for 2019. I didn't like it. The safe house was a good idea, and the ending with um, Adler and the player, I forgot the name, facing off was pretty cool. But other than that, I didn't like that too much. Like the multiplayer, Vanguard trash, Instant. Everything that I've seen from the game looks like shit. I guess if you want to say actually, I've never played it because I've just played the beta. But I absolutely hated the beta. So I didn't buy that game. That was the very first Call of Duty I did not buy on my own because everything else either I've owned previously or I've bought, and that's the very first one I've never bought. Modern Warfare 2, I bought it because I really liked Modern Warfare. Bad idea, trash. I hated the multiplayer in this. Didn't really care about the campaign. They kind of lost me back with Cold War. Um, and yeah, complete trash. Modern Warfare 3, didn't buy it. Didn't play it. Beta was shit. I hated it. Did not like it whatsoever. I felt like it was an exact copy of Modern Warfare 2. It was the exact same thing, just more skins, more trash. I really didn't like it. Black Ops 6 wasn't a bad game. It definitely goes above Cold War Modern Warfare 2 because I could play it for a couple months before getting bored of it. Um, but it's definitely middle of the pack. I'd say it's lower than World War 2. No, maybe higher than World War 2. I feel like I had more fun playing Ghost than I did Black Ops 6. Maybe not. Ghost, Black Ops 6, Black Ops 6. Now I think about it, I got more memories playing Ghost and having fun than playing Black Ops 6. And that's a shame to say, but I'm also like trying to really think like, did I have more fun playing Ghost? I got more memories, but like the memories aren't that good. Whereas Black Ops 6, I could still have a little fun. I just remember them adding this like the 2v2 map in season 2 or 3, and it was bad. I just died. Ghost can stay in front of Black Ops 6. I feel like that's fair to me. 7, once again, never played it. Um, really, I didn't feel a need to buy it this year. After what they were saying last year and lying about the PR or about what they were doing with the Black Model for 3, I really didn't believe them when they were saying they were gonna go back to how COD was or however they mentioned it. Um, don't quote me on that because I don't, fully know. I just know at one point they had mentioned, or they had seemed like they were talking about going back to not having skins in the new game. But then I saw like clips of the campaign with that Menendez, I think, with the red dust around him and that huge character. I'll just no, that's not what Call of Duty is, and oh man, terrible, terrible. And then the multiplayer, I did not like the beta at all, like whatsoever. I found no enjoyment in it. But yeah, I think that's primarily it. I played the Big Red Army, and from what I remember, I had a lot of fun with it. Maybe not that much fun. Maybe that right there. Um, Surprisingly, I played Big One Army, right? Big Red One. Never mind. I played that more than these three, and I know it's technically like it's part of Call of Duty 2. Um, but I did play that more. I feel like I probably put that enough in mid from what little memory I've got of it. Um, yeah, I think you could drive tanks in that game. Maybe I'm mistaking that for 3. Yeah, I'm gonna put that down there. One of those two goes up in mid because it had a tank. It had like jeeps and stuff. I was like a castle map. Like the buildings were Renaissance area. I loved it. But yeah, this is my list. Gonna go over it one more time, just making sure I feel like I agree with everything. There's something on my mouse. All right, so Black Ops 1, greatest of all time. I agree with that still. Just gonna stick with that. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be pretty fair there. Now, like I said, these two are gonna be a toss up for me, primarily because I had so much fun with both these games, and they both did so much in their own rights for me. But I have to go with Modern Warfare 3 over World at War. I've gotta. It's just I had so much more fun playing Infected than I did with multiplayer and zombies in World at War. Whereas like you could probably tell I'm like a big zombies player because of what's going on up here. But Black Ops 4, but Black Ops 2, gonna get flamed for that, but I don't really care. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna stick with this list. Well, what are your guys' thoughts? I'd love to hear them. And yeah, I hope you all have a great day.